Hello again, this is Cosmic Waves, and I'm Connie Hansen. I wanted to give you today's view, and I'm going to start out the week with Friday, March 11th. I will also have some just kind of general observations about the week and a little bit further out. So in general, for the spring and for this next week, the elephant in the room is the stellium in Aquarius that's going on. It's also in opposition to Jupiter. That's any of your ways of getting anything done as far as opportunities. It's making things go inward instead of actually getting it out. And then there's a square also with Saturn, creating a T-square. This just really means Saturn is telling us we got some big lessons we need to learn here, and it's going to slap us in the face until we get it. So the sooner we do that, the less the pain. Anyway, hopefully this will help you kind of guide through that. There's a strong tendency right now to over-idealize situations. It's something that we fall back on whenever we think, well, we have to improve our game, and so we'll stick to the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are guidelines rather than rules. So this is something we're going to have to kind of deal with. There's also a lot of strong resistance that we really can't see, but yet the answer is right there in front of us. The resistance is within. We just don't want to change. And those that are open for it are struggling with people who cannot do the change. This has been a problem for years at this point, with a set of changes that we've seen in life in general. But the cosmic direction is pointing the way towards thinking more holistically and not so restrictively. And that's Pluto being in Sagittarius sidereally. So it's saying, honor yourself. Be freewheeling. Be, open to new ideas. Be asking questions, fighting for freedom and rights, but not without hurting everyone along the way or restricting their ability to seek what it is that they need to. The election cycle that we're seeing, a shift from the old guard to the new guard, regardless of age, it's perception. May the wisdom of the past prevail and the new way be that of integrity. We have many months of this T-square in opposition, so handle each personal conflict carefully and thoroughly. We have lots of time to do this, so don't bundle up on yourself and try and make it too harder than it has to be. One thing at a time. Let's not skip any important developments and how you perceive your place in the world and how others fit in there too. We're in this together. It's part of the lesson. We've got to do it this way. And for those of you who are interested in love and romance and setting up your desires being met, their Venus is now pretty solidly into Aquarius. Not a real warm, fuzzy type place. Next month. Another month it will be. But for now, I think it's time for you to not over-idealize what it is that you're wanting. You think, well, I've made mistakes by being too loose or too just open immediately, but you can go too far off the edge. This is time where we need to really connect up intellectually and philosophically, and then the rest will flow in about 3.5 to 4 weeks. Fortunately, passions are not really guiding us so intensely, so you don't feel like you have to perform just to get heard. There's also a question I'd like people to ask themselves is, am I in this for the long term, for things that really do work out well after sex or whatever it is that you indulge in? Or is it just something that's going to be a flash in the pan, a puff of steam and gone as quickly as it started? Ask yourself where you're going with something. Also ask yourself, this new person in my life, Are they representative of someone who is going to be erotic in my life? Or are they going to be someone who is going to help me connect up with a whole different spectrum of thought and people, such as agape love? Or is this going to be simply platonic, as this is going to be my comrade to share adventures with and share philosophy and fight with in a decent way, and yet make up and have a drink afterwards? So this is with Venus and Aquarius, you need to be thinking on a different level. And then, like I say, in about 3 weeks or so, Venus will go into Pisces, and it'll be time for the more eros or soft and fuzzy sort of stuff. So that's sort of the short part of the long view. So now I would like to talk about Friday, March the 11th. And we're going to have some fairly quirky views of the future right now. And the challenge is to see them clearly and adjust to less materialism and more humanism. Consider this as a collective puzzle. Once enough of the pieces are in place, the picture starts to emerge. It's our responsibility to work on our piece of that puzzle. There's a cultural shift in the works, and generally it's for the better. It's something we have to go through now. It may not work in another 100 years, but it's something we need to do now. Do take some time for love and connect up with those that you do feel love for, and remember what I said about whether this is going to be, how is this relationship going to be? Is it going to be eros, agape, or platonic? Very important questions. We have far more connections that don't restrict us than we do those that do restrict us. So let's focus a little bit on the broader spectrum instead of the more limited one. We also have to learn how to respect our diversity. Very hard when people are living in idealized situations instead of, this is a good idea, how does this work, how can I make my part of it work? Also, a heads up to get all your chores and business dealings done by Friday, because, or at least before Monday, because Monday there's going to be a grand square, and that's going to tie up stuff. It's going to make it hard for you to do your part, but you're going to look better if you've already done your stuff and you're just waiting for the other person. It's kicking the can down the road. Yeah, I know, but you know, this is how you're going to look in your work environment or in your responsibilities. Try and do them today. Anyway, the moon is going to be in Aries today, and take advantage of that independence and that bright prospect for the future view that Aries can give us. So until tomorrow,